In today's session of Divorce Court, Ken Landis says he's ending his marriage to Roxanne because of their sex life.
His way of having sex is a way that I would not do. I've been so devoted to this guy.
She got lazy. She put on 50 pounds and she said, "Why are people always saying I look pregnant?" I said,
well, what
"Well,
do you
look at
expect?
you.
I had kids.
Now he has a new girlfriend.
She takes care of me.
She does what?
She buys me everything I want.
Oh.
Sex is great. I've never been happier in my life.
Yeah, I know, because now you got somebody taking care of you.
And she squares off with Roxanne.
But he doesn't have a license and he has to make a living to give his children support.
Today, Roxanne Landis wants justice as she faces off with Ken Landis and his new girlfriend in divorce court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Ken Landis versus Roxanne Landis. I'm advised that after 5 years of marriage, Mr. Landis, you want to end it. Why?
Your Honor, because my wife did not give me sex. She withheld sex from me.
Your Honor, he's
She does?
lying.
How long has she done that?
He's lying, Your
Past
Honor.
3 years.
For the past 3 years?
Yes. That's
Your
why
Honor,
So why did
he's
you stay-
lying. I've
hold
never
on.
withheld sex from him.
Yes, you did. That's why I stayed
I
the first
haven't.
time. Yes, you did.
I have not
What do you mean by
withheld
she
sex
withheld
from you.
sex from you?
She never wanted to do anything. She'd always go up in bed and
I
I'd
always
sleep on the
did.
couch.
Every time I wanted to.
So do you have any
you
children?
Decided you didn't
yeah,
want
once
to.
in a while. Once in a blue
No.
moon.
Excuse
You're
me.
lying.
According to my papers, you have 3 children. So if you have 3 children, are you the Virgin Mary?
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
That was the once in a
Immaculate
year.
Conception? Is that how you had these children?
That was the
Apparently,
once
I must have. I must
So
have.
how did you have 3 children if she didn't give you sex?
a year. That was the once in a while that we did do it.
The once in a while.
Yes, once a month.
Well,
So
if you were
each
so
time you
unhappy,
had
why
each-
didn't you leave me the first time and stay
I did
away?
No,
that.
talk to me.
I miss
talk,
my kids.
Talk to me.
Your Honor, the first time he left me, took my paycheck and his paycheck, and went to Florida with his ex-girlfriend.
No, that was my
And
present
took my
girlfriend.
paycheck and
That was my
only
present
left me.
girlfriend.
Now,
Well, wait a
you
minute now.
left me.
Let her finish the statement. Just why you over here being so bold about your present girlfriend. She's saying that you left her, took the paycheck, and went somewhere else with a girlfriend, and you're saying it's because she didn't give you sex?
Yes, I was
Your
very
Honor.
unhappy.
Oh, come off of
She
it.
didn't clean
Your
the
Honor,
house. She didn't cook a
he-
decent meal.
When he
Come on.
took my paycheck and his paycheck, left me with only $20 in the bank, knowing I have 3 kids, only enough to pay for diapers.
Why did you leave your wife?
Well, because she got lazy. She would always complain how people are always saying she looks
Your Honor.
pregnant. She put on 50 pounds and she said, "Why are people always saying I look pregnant?" I said,
Well, what
"Well,
do you
look at you.
expect?
You eat-
I had
I
kids.
told
It's
her
hard
you
If
eat
she
to
McDonald's.
has
lose the
3
weight.
kids, ages
She
2,
never
4, and
exercised.
6, there
She
wasn't
never-
much
It's
time in
hard
between, was
working a
there?
job plus
She
taking
never
care of
exercised.
kids.
She never took care of
Hold
herself.
on. You said
I have a lot of
she
different
didn't
things
clean
to
up the
say.
house. She was messy.
Yes.
She complained about people saying she looked pregnant all the time, and she
I
gained
didn't
50
complain.
pounds when she had your child, right?
Yeah.
So if
Well-
you're having children back to back, she probably did
It's
look
hard
pregnant
to
all the
lose the
time because
weight.
she was pretty much
She didn't do
pregnant a
anything
lot.
in between to try and get back in shape.
Like you,
What
like
was
you
she
did,
supposed
Your
to do,
Honor.
Mr. Landis?
I bought her an exercise
Honor.
machine. I have a gym upstairs in the attic. She never wanted to go exercise.
And so that's why you left and went to somebody else.
Yes, because she didn't do nothing. I took care of the house myself. I was home at night by myself. She never wanted to do anything, and I found somebody else that took care of me.
Now, what's this about you don't clean up the house?
Your Honor, I did what I could taking care of kids. Every time I cleaned up the house, the kids dug out their toys or something, which you got to let them play. You can't sit there
Well,
and...
most people have to let kids
Yeah.
play, but maybe Mr. Landis thinks you should let
And
them
maybe
play.
if he would have helped me every once in a while by taking the trash out, doing the dishes without me having to ask him to do it, most of the time I ended up taking the trash out because it sat on the porch.
So what I hear from you is saying he wasn't helping me do, and I was on overload with 3 kids, and Mr. Landis is saying, no, she wasn't on overload, she was just lazy and didn't do anything, and so therefore I went out to have sex with somebody else. But according to this paper, it says that you just consider yourself a red-blooded American male who enjoys sex and have every right to have it whenever you get ready.
Your Honor.
What happened to your commitment?
I had a commitment, but she wasn't fulfilling my end of the commitment.
Oh, so why do you have to go out when your wife, once she has 3 kids, all of a sudden she's not good enough for you, the sex is no good, and you got to go on to somebody
the sex
else?
never was good.
Oh, it never was
But then
good.
you shouldn't have been with me
So why
from
did
the
you stay
beginning.
for 3 children then?
Because I wanted my kids, and I didn't want to leave my kids. I thought staying with her and the kids would be good for the kids.
Really?
Yes.
Now, when you were staying
Except
with
for the
her,
arguing.
yeah,
It was
I was about to
constant
say, when
arguing.
you were staying with her and you thought it was good for the kids, were you respecting
Honor,
her or were
most
you
of
always
our
arguing?
arguments-
We were always arguing.
Your
And
Honor,
you thought that was
most-
good? I'm talking.
The kids were never around during the argument.
So
Yes,
where were the kids?
sometimes
The
they
kids
were
were either
too.
in bed.
Always
Usually
in bed.
Usually in bed.
And they were deaf too, right? They couldn't hear.
No, they slept very soundly.
That's what you thought.
Your Honor, most of the arguments
Hold
that
on,
we
Mrs.
had-
Landis. Children hear when you're arguing.
Well, she says I didn't
I'm
help.
talking. That's the mistake a lot of parents make when they are quote unquote for the sake of the children. If the sex wasn't good in the first place, then it seems like to me after the first few months of marriage or after the first child at least, why you have to go have 2 more if you knew it wasn't good? You should have been out of there then. And you think the children don't hear you. They're lying in bed listening to mommy and daddy argue over and over and over and probably covering up their little ears and pulling the covers over their heads because they don't want to hear you and trying to drown it out. But they hear you. And
I
do
didn't
you
wanna
know it
split
leaves
up
an indelible mark on their brain? And for then on, they think this is what marriage is all about. People yelling and screaming with each other, disrespecting each other. And the other thing, they're lying there in fear. When is mommy going to hit daddy? When is daddy going to hit mommy?
Your Honor.
It doesn't help you to stay there for the sake of the kids. If you were so concerned about the sake of the kids, what happened to that concern? You're gone now, aren't you?
Because I got tired of it. I got fed up. I want
Oh,
to
so
make
suddenly the kids
Your
didn't matter
Honor.
anymore.
There comes a time where you can only
Can
put
I
up with
say
so much of
something
somebody
here?
and their family.
So what
He
is
has
this
not
about him
helped
having
me.
sex with an ex-girlfriend? He says it's his current friend, and you said it was an ex-girlfriend.
Well, to me, it's now his ex-girlfriend because he's not with her no more. But
So
at the
when-
time, it was his girlfriend.
So when he was married to you,
He moved to Florida with this girl and took off with my paycheck and his. And this
and stayed
time,
how long with her?
stayed with her about a month.
So
And
that's
then
the one you're
we-
calling an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, now I
well,
call
I
her
call her an
ex-girlfriend.
ex-mistress.
Mistress, okay. Yeah, if you want to say that.
Yeah, that's
And
what it is.
This time he left me. He did the same thing. He took his paycheck, left me with $10 in the bank, having to tell my kids why Daddy wasn't coming
So the
home.
last time he left you with $20, this time he left you with $10.
$10 because
Next time
I
it'd
only
be
had
zero,
one
probably.
kid in
I
diapers.
also paid all the bills before I left, too.
No, you did
The
not.
rent was paid, the phone was paid,
No,
and
the
the
now
rent
electric
was not paid.
I told you to talk to me. So this time you left with $10, left her with $10 for
And her
another woman.
paycheck.
What
Plus, I
happened to the
gave her-
first woman you went out with?
Plus, I gave her my whole paycheck that I had coming
Just
in.
answer my question. You left her for the first woman. What happened?
She wasn't making me happy.
So that one didn't make you happy either.
And he came
Hold
back
on,
to
so
me.
then you go back to your wife.
Because I told her I wanted to make it work.
He didn't even
So what
leave
makes you
me
think
a
you're so
note.
tough you can run back and forth between women
Because I
and
did
they don't
every-
do what you want, you move on, you go on with somebody
I did
else?
everything, but I did everything in supporting that family for the past 7 years
Oh,
of my
yeah,
life.
holding what, 15 jobs in the whole 5 years that
Yeah,
we've
and they
been
were also
together?
11, $12 an hour
Oh, what, you
jobs,
stayed
too.
So
like
now you have
4
another
months.
woman, right?
Yes.
4 months.
Well, you know, if you listen to yourself, the
She
constant,
takes care of me.
the constant, she does
Yeah,
what?
drives
takes
you
care of
around
me.
What
to
do you
your
mean she
job.
takes care of
She
you?
takes care of me. She buys me everything I want.
Oh.
Sex is great.
She buys you
Your
everything you
Honor.
want and does what? Let me hear this.
Sex is great. I've been happy. I've never been happier in my life.
Yeah, I know, because now you got somebody taking care of you and spending all their money on you,
But
buying
we
you everything
we take
you want.
care of each other.
So no, that's not what you said. She takes care of
Yeah,
me.
just
She
takes
buys
care of me the way-
everything I want.
When divorce court returns, Roxanne testifies about the real reason she couldn't keep Ken happy.
His way of having sex is a way that I would not do.
And Ken's new girlfriend tangles with the judge.
And you should have thought about that
You asked
before
me
you
what
got
I-
involved with
You
him.
asked me what I had to say. I was telling you about the children.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce court is back in the case of Ken Landis, who left his wife Roxanne because he says she wasn't giving him enough sex.
Is this the woman you're talking about that takes care of you and gives you everything you want?
Ma'am.
So now you're with her.
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder does she know that's why you're with her? Step forward. What's your name?
Marsha.
Marsha what?
Grant.
Marsha Grant.
Yes, ma'am.
You a little older than him?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you taking care of him and giving him everything he wants?
No, ma'am, I'm taking care of anybody but my children.
Well, that's not what
I'm
he
not
said.
taking care of a grown man, no,
Well,
ma'am.
did you hear that grown
I
man
heard
say
what he
that?
said.
So now how do you feel about that, Ms. Grant?
I don't like it, but I don't think it came out the way he meant it to. I don't take care of anyone.
Mean it? Come on, justify it.
I can't speak for him. I'm just saying I don't take care of anyone but my children.
Hold on a second. You don't buy him everything he wants?
No, I don't.
What do you buy him?
I really don't buy him too much. I take care of my children, like I said.
You take him back and forth to work, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Well,
and what else?
But he doesn't have a license, and he has to make a living to give his children support.
Mrs. Landis, you don't need to do that.
That's all that matters.
No, you said that she takes care of you and buys you everything you want.
She does.
You didn't know you were doing that, huh?
No, I'm not.
So you deny that?
Yes, I won't take care of a grown man.
She doesn't take care of me in the physical sense. She takes care of me in the emotional sense.
Well, wait a minute, you just said the sex was great. That's physical.
Well, sex is great.
Well, that's physical, Mr. Landis. So what else do you want to say to me, Ms. Grant?
I don't like the games with the children. The children is the main issue here.
Well, what do you think?
Then you know what? You should have thought about that before you got into a relationship with a married man.
He's a separated man.
He's married.
No, we were married at the time.
Excuse me. You can try to justify it and shift me off all you want.
I'm not
He's a
justifying
married
anything.
man. And you should have thought about that before you got involved with him.
You asked me what I had to say. I was telling you about the children.
I don't want to hear it.
Well, then.
Sit down.
Sit.
You concerned about the way she treats the children. Please. I see another person sitting here. What's your name?
Catherine Epler, Roxanne's mother.
You have something to add to this as well?
Yes,
Step forward.
I do.
What do you want to tell me?
Your Honor, okay, Kenneth Landis has not been very good to his children at all. He has always dropped the kids off at my house. I'm always babysitting the kids for him. He never wanted to show no responsibility for the kids.
Well, what do you mean always babysitting the kids for him? Mrs. Landis, they're her kids
that's
too.
when they were together. He would drop sometimes at nighttime. He wanted to go to work. He would tell us to go. He would go to work. One Friday night when he left with the ex-girlfriend, he brought the kids and said he had to go to work. And here he didn't go to work. He left to Florida, and we found out that he left to go to Florida.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, and he never bothers with the kids. Never calls them on her birthday. He never called. She had a birthday on this past Sunday. He never called the kid, the 6-year-old for his birthday.
So since he's been separated and been with this woman, he's not taking care of the kids?
Right, right.
Oh,
He has not.
What about wasn't allowed to take them for Christmas?
I don't want the two of you cross-talking, and I'm not going to tell you that again.
If it wasn't for her, he would not have a life.
All right, thank you. I doubt that very seriously because it seems like he's living right now. She may have thought that he wouldn't have had a life if it wasn't for her.
Something about him saying he never had sex. His way of having sex is a way that I myself would not do.
What are you talking about?
And I don't want to say how he wanted to do because it's
so why you bring it up to me if you're not going to talk to me about it?
Because it's not appropriate to say.
So in other words, he wanted you to do something that you refused to do?
Right. And
something that you perceived as pornographic or...
Right, yeah. But I've done it for him because I loved him.
But you wouldn't do it enough.
And I wouldn't do it enough. That's pretty much what it was.
My perception of sex.
What was your perception?
My perception of sex is at least once every 2 weeks, you know.
Oh, we've had it more than once every 2 weeks. So she's saying
that what you had in this marriage, the reason when you say that she wasn't satisfying you is you all had a different idea of what should be done to be satisfied. You wanted her to do some things that she wasn't willing to do.
Right.
So you found other people who were more willing to do it.
No, yes, he did. That was a sustained situation. No. She took care of that the one time, and that was it.
Your Honor,
so now you want some money now that he's run off with Ms. Grant.
That's why with my best friend.
What?
With my best friend.
What about with your best friend?
Now my ex-friend. He had done relationships with her.
With your best friend?
My best friend, who is now my ex-best friend.
In addition to these other two women?
Yeah, he's cheated on me so many times throughout our whole relationship, Your Honor, that I've been so devoted to this guy.
So even throughout this, you're still paying the rent and taking care of the kids?
Yes.
Your best friend. How did that come about?
It just happened.
Oh, it just happened. Now, what do you want from me, Mrs. Landis?
I'd like to get the 4 months' rent from when he left me because I had no knowledge that he was going to leave me, no way of making arrangements to pay my rent. I depended on his paycheck for those months. We were behind in rent when he left me. Every time it gets going rough, he always leaves.
Well, that's because you can't give him everything he wants.
Right.
So he had to go find somebody who can. So how many months behind are you on the rent?
I owe my landlord now $750 because I've been paying on it.
Let me see that.
Myself.
Is that a document from your landlord?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. I've been using my paychecks that I get to pay on my rent because I depended on his paycheck for those months.
The rent was paid when I left. I gave him
No,
my
it was
last
not
paycheck.
paid.
Yes, it was. When I left, I also gave
When
him
did
my
you
last
leave?
pay. October 8th.
Well, according to this letter, if I accept it as truth, the rent was in arrears and none had been paid since October 2nd. And if you left October 8th, that means the rent wasn't current when you left.
I paid the rent a week before I left.
No, you did not pay the rent the week
you were in
before you
arrears when
left.
you left on October 2nd. They were in arrears $1,505. Now, how much is your rent per month?
$475.
So then if it was current,
how
did you owe $1,505?
That's not true. That is
so
not
the
true.
landlord is lying?
Yes, that's not true.
You got some proof that you paid the rent?
No, I don't.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
So now, since all your needs are being met and you're getting everything you want, let's have you meet these children's needs.
And an update on the case of Kimberly Ford versus Andre Agee.
Both of you had stress. That's what life is.
Right.
Life is stressful. You want a stress-free life? Die. That's the only time you have one.
Right.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back in the case of Roxanne Landis, who says her husband Ken abandoned her and their children because she wasn't into the kinky sex that he wanted.
I hardly ever see my kids because I got to work overtime to pay for this round. All I ask him, if he doesn't have enough to send 75, at least send 20, 25. Every little bit helps. I have one in diapers. That $25 could buy diapers.
But you now have a child support order.
Yes.
I can't give you another order on top of an existing child support order. But I can give him making a contribution toward this back rent when he wasn't paying support, and therefore you were about to be put out, but for the landlord having some mercy on you. So now, since all your needs are being met and you're getting everything you want, let's have you meet these children's needs. So maybe you can take your paycheck and pay for them. So the court's order is you're going to reimburse or pay $750 of this rent, the arrears that's due, to the landlord directly at the rate of $250 per month. That's in addition to whatever child support order the court has ordered you to pay, unless you and the landlord make some other arrangements. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the order of the court. Court's adjourned.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Kimberly Ford versus Andre Agee.
How many wives have you had?
How many wives have I had?
That was my question.
Oh, you really want to talk about that?
Uh-huh.
She's my third wife.
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Kimberly Ford said that when her marriage to Andre hit a rough spot, he sought comfort in the arms of another woman.
He was expecting another baby with his ex-wife.
She saw the stress and the bad look on my face.
And she rubbed your head and your back.
She knew what to say to me.
How many wives have you had?
How many wives have I had?
That was my question.
Oh, you really want to talk about that?
Uh-huh.
She's my third wife.
Each time things got a little stressful or a little uptight for you, you said, whew, I'm out of here. Both of you had stress. That's what life is.
Right.
Life is stressful. You want a stress-free life? Die. That's the only time you have one.
Right.
Kimberly said Andre canceled the check he wrote for the down payment on their car, and she wanted him to reimburse her $400. But the judge decided they were each responsible for half of the down payment and ordered Andre to pay Kimberly $250. Andre says he plans to be a bachelor for a few years and then start looking for candidates to be his next wife. He does keep in touch with Kimberly and his second wife for the sake of the children. Kimberly is now dating a new man, but is cautious about getting remarried. Instead, she has focused her energy on becoming a registered nurse.
I didn't like the way she behaved in court at all. She made me look like a complete idiot in court, and I'm not happy with the judge's decision at all.
I feel happy about the verdict today because I got a chance to have him help me with my kids, money for my kids.
I'm not a sex maniac. I want to be taken care of. I want to be made happy, and I'm happy now. If she can't keep a person happy, that's not my problem.
I feel he doesn't care for his kids. I have a hard time getting money out of him to help me pay for stuff for the kids.
I don't think it's fair. I think I had every right to do what I did, and I don't think I should have to pay all the back rent.
I think he'll try to leave the kids and not pay attention to them.